Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
Reflections on the Lepton Scholarly Examination. In the year 1995, Martin Perl, a luminary in the field of particle physics, published his seminal work Reflections on the Discovery of the Lepton. This essay, intended for an audience steeped in the rigors of academic pursuit, undertakes a close scrutiny of this pivotal contribution, investigating its genesis, unveiling its specific scientific dimensions, gauging its immediate and sustained influence, and assessing its place within the evolving narrative of physics. To fully grasp the significance of Perl's work, it is essential to first delineate the intellectual landscape from which it emerged. That decade, the 1970s, possessed a palpable excitement within the scientific community, a community captivated by the Standard Model and its emergent capabilities. Theoretical physicists, driven by the successes of quantum electrodynamics, relentlessly pursued a unified perspective of fundamental forces and particles. The concept of leptons, elementary and point-like particles free from the strong force, already possessed a certain elegance. The most familiar of these, the electron and the muon, along with their associated neutrinos, presented a well-defined, albeit incomplete, picture. The existence of a third, heavier lepton, the tau, was not yet established, but the theoretical groundwork that would eventually support its discovery had begun to solidify. This period saw the development of intricate experimental methodologies, particularly within the realm of high-energy physics, aimed at investigating the structure of matter at its most fundamental levels. The work directly preceding Perl's Reflections was not so much a single paper as a comprehensive, ongoing experimental and theoretical endeavor. The endeavor's heart lay within the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center SLAC and the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory, where the SLACable collaboration meticulously constructed and operated the Spear-Stanford positron-electron asymmetric rings collider. The Spear Collider, a novel instrument for its time, allowed for the collision of electrons and positrons at high energies, creating conditions where matter and antimatter could annihilate, producing new particles. This capability proved indispensable in the hunt for the lepton. The initial theoretical foundations, particularly those related to the conservation, laws and the expected properties of new particles, had also been established in several precursory analyses, serving as guideposts to the experimentalists. The search was not without its challenges. The signals from potential new particles would present themselves as subtle statistical fluctuations, often masked by a far more abundant background events generated by known particles. The ability to successfully detect new phenomena required meticulous experimental design, the development of novel detection methods, the development of robust data analysis techniques. Perl's narrative, in its essence, offers a detailed reconstruction of the momentous journey towards the lepton's discovery. He deftly elucidates the specific techniques employed, most notably the analysis of events in which electrons and muons, with their differing characteristics, would often appear as the exclusive products of the annihilation events. Such an analysis allowed researchers to distinguish these distinctive events from the more general backgrounds and begin to isolate the influence of a new particle. The key insight, and the heart of the discovery, resided in identifying events in which an electron and a muon would appear in the final state, accompanied by no other readily identifiable particles. Careful analysis of these events revealed a systematic violation of the expected predictions based upon the known particles. The discrepancy, an unexpected anomaly, offered compelling evidence for the existence of a particle whose decay products would include both an electron and a muon. Subsequent analysis confirmed the existence of a new, much heavier lepton that decayed into these established charged particles. A cornerstone of the argument resided in the determination of the tau's mass and lifetime. The mass estimations arose from the reconstruction of the kinematics, from the specific collision events, and the energy measurements of the decay products. The lifetime, a critical property of any unstable particle, was estimated from the observed decay rates. Perl's work, in essence, highlighted the convergence of experimental ingenuity and theoretical understanding. The immediate impact of the discovery stood enormous. The discovery, confirmed experimentally, provided a necessary component of the Standard Model. The model, at the time incomplete, had no explanation of the tau's existence. The introduction of the tau not only solidified the model's foundations but also provided a framework for further exploration. The tau's existence hinted at a deeper structure to reality, a periodic pattern of leptons. The Standard Model, enriched by the lepton, predicted a third generation of quarks. This insight directly led to the eventual discovery of the bottom and top quarks, strengthening the model's predictive power. The immediate applications centered mainly on the validation of quantum electrodynamics. The tau's behavior, closely mirroring that of the electron and muon, provided an additional test bed for this theory. The discovery inspired the development of more sophisticated tools and techniques for particle detection and analysis. These instrumental enhancements went on to play a crucial role in subsequent studies. The longevity of Perl's contribution is readily demonstrable through multiple avenues. The experimental techniques from the original experiments became standard practice within high-energy physics. Further research established the tau's precise properties. The tau lepton, with its mass, lifetime, and decay modes, became a basic component of any modern description of particle physics. A large body of theoretical work arose around the tau's implications. The focus shifted towards understanding the interaction between the tau and the weak force, providing invaluable data for refining the standard model. The tau's decay channels were examined, providing new ways to probe the structure of the weak interaction. Experimental confirmation of the tau neutrino, associated with the tau lepton, provided the final piece of the standard model's particle puzzle. This work solidified the standard model as a complete description of all known fundamental particles and interactions. The development and refinement of the model continue to this day. The discovery has had an enduring legacy, influencing subsequent works and paving the way for the development of new experimental methodologies. Critical assessment of Perl's work, even in its original formulation, yields important insights. The initial estimates of the tau's mass and lifetime were subject to a degree of inherent statistical uncertainty, reflecting the challenges of the experimental techniques of the era. The initial interpretations of the observed data were also, by necessity, subject to the limitations of the theoretical models available. This stimulated the development of new theoretical approaches to explain the tau's behavior, especially in its interactions with the weak force. Several alternative interpretations were put forward, including one related to the presence of multiple generations of fermions. Subsequent work on the tau lepton led to a deeper understanding of the phenomenon of flavor mixing and the development, a more refined description of the particles' interactions. The early reception of the discovery, while largely positive, was not without its skeptics. The observed deviations from the standard expectations were subtle, and the initial statistical significance of the effects could be questioned. Over time, with more data and refined analysis techniques, the discovery was widely accepted. Perl's work was subsequently recognized by numerous awards and honors, including the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1995, an unmistakable validation of its significance. The direct influences, both in terms of preceding works and individual collaborators, stand clear. The intellectual lineage of the work could be traced to the broader context of the standard model and the development of gauge theories. The work of Sheldon Glashow, Abdus Salam, and Stephen Weinberg on the unification of the electromagnetic and weak forces provided a critical theoretical framework. At the experimental level, the Spear collaboration's data acquisition strategy, which utilized the Spear collider and its associated detectors, played a pivotal role. Perl collaborated closely with his team. Wolfgang Panofsky, as the director of SLAC, provided critical support, creating an environment where groundbreaking research could flourish. The meticulous techniques developed by Gerson Goldhaber at Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory for analyzing particle collisions also stood essential. The contributions of these individuals were integrated to make the discovery possible. The direct influence of Perl's work on subsequent generations of physicists and on new experimental findings reveals the enduring resonance of his discoveries. The work on the study of the tau lepton's interaction with the weak force and the consequent development of new experimental methodologies directly spurred the advancement of neutrino physics. This work, in turn, led to the development of several particle detectors designed to detect neutrinos. The discovery, along with the work of other researchers, propelled the development of new theoretical models and experimental strategies, including the investigation of CP violation and the study of the weak mixing angle. The discovery of the tau directly triggered a cascade of experiments and led to a more precise understanding of the standard model. The experimental verification of the tau neutrino, an endeavour undertaken and completed by numerous experimental collaborations, served to further consolidate the tau lepton's place within the standard model. The impact of Perl's work cannot be overstated. It continues to inspire and inform the scientific community, driving ongoing investigations into the fundamental nature of the universe. The tau's discovery, as chronicled by Perl's reflections, stands as a testament to the enduring power of scientific investigation.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, Please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.